I could dedicate an entire book to venting about shopping with my children, whether it involves running, chasing, timeouts, sideswiping, spilling, crying, screaming, urinating, or accidental stealing. I have been through it all. A couple mortifying shopping trips come to mind, like the time I forgot to put a pull-up on my daughter when we went to the hair salon. Every 2 minutes, I'd ask her, "Honey, do you have to go to the bathroom?" "No, I okay." "Do you sure?" "No, I okay." 5 minutes later, we walk over to the shampoo station, and in front of 3 hairstylists, my little girl squats, without getting her floral dress wet, mind you, and pees all over the floor. While shopping at Pottery Barn for Kids with my 20-month-old son, he was playing quietly with an electronic dinosaur display. Everything was all fantabulous until I noticed an odor that could melt the plaid off of a pillow sham. Without even flinching, I lifted my son off the ground and, oh yes, sniffed his bum. And sure enough, it was my child who was causing the entire boys' bedding section to clear out. It doesn't matter how big your little ones are or how many kids you have, bringing them to the store is a lot like throwing up. You never want to do it, but when the time comes, you know you have no choice, and you know you'll feel so much better when it's over. Thankfully, there are a few things you can do to help delay the running, chasing, timeouts, sideswiping, spilling, crying, screaming, urinating, or accidental stealing. One of my favorites is feeding the kids snacks while shopping. Stop by the deli counter with a cart full of noisy kids, and you'll see even the longest line clear out so fast, the deli lady will give free cheese slices to all of your children. Unfortunately, this keeps them quiet for approximately 1 aisle. Another thing you can do is to try to make shopping seem like a really fun activity. I used to put my kids in those obnoxiously wide minivan carts so they could pretend to drive while I was shopping. This sounds really nifty until you go shopping in aisles that are so narrow, you get sideswiped if you hold a box of cereal the wrong way. When shopping with kids, be swift and efficient. Don't think, just shop. Try to get in and out as fast as possible. I like to collect as many edible products as possible while keeping their little fingers and toes inside the cart and simultaneously crossing items off of my list. I don't mind substituting American cheese for Swiss. I'll sort it out later and deal with the extra cheese on my thighs after they hit college. I once raced through the automatic doors of a local grocery store with smiling children in tow, swept past the produce aisle, grabbed the greenest bunch of bananas and overripe strawberries, and upon reaching the bakery, nearly ran over an elderly store clerk, knocked down a cake display, and apologized to 3 customers as I flew past the aisles. We blocked the exit doorway for a full minute when my then 2-year-old daughter refused to move out of the way. By the time I picked her up and put her back in the cart, she was crying so hard I thought someone was going to call the local authorities. Another thing you can do is to pretend to look like you've got everything under control, even when you're about to snap. I have this annoying tendency to whisper yell to my kids when they start to misbehave in a store. "No, get back here, get back in the cart, put that down! Stop touching your sister, don't put that in your mouth. Use your manners, get back here that instant, get back in the cart, stop doing that, put that down." Now my voice is getting louder and people are starting to stare. I start fake smiling and nodding as people pass by. At this point, I should have already left the store, as my intelligent parenting books suggest. But when I'm out with my children, my inner idiot tends to shine. I forget any semblance of common sense. After all, I only have 3 items left on my list. I can't just leave. This method of mothering, not surprisingly, isn't very impressive. It gives off the "so you're the crazy lady with kids" looks. By the time I get the kids in the car, I think I've crossed off everything off of my shopping list, along with every don't parenting tip imaginable. And just as we're pulling into the driveway, I notice that everyone is quiet. There's no spilling, pushing, crying, screaming, or urinating. Everyone is great. And as I start putting away the groceries, I think, well, maybe it was just my imagination. Maybe the nightmare, was just nothing, until I realize I forgot the milk.